Hey, good morning, fellas. Happy Saturday. Gonna tell you something that my wife asked me to do last night, and she does this every once in a while. Last night they had a big karaoke event at one of the ladies' house. Let me show you what we're working with. After all the storms, we are having a very nice day. A little breeze, and got the car hooked up to the battery charger. It's like what you use a trickle charger. So the battery lasts instead of like 3 to 5 years, it lasts 7 to 8 years. And the reason my wife asked me to do this is because last year my wife gave up $140,000 a year job as a director at the University Medical Center. All that to say this. My wife doesn't do anything now except maybe occasionally bakes bread or cookies or does something for somebody she likes. I'm just wandering around. And so she calls me up, puts me on FaceTime. I think it's called FaceTime or WhatsApp or one of those things, and asks me to explain to some of these ladies why they can't find a guy. And they use me as an example of the type of guy they're looking for, which is a big mistake on their part. The hardest thing is being honest with women who are delusional about who they are, and they want the fairy tale, but they don't want the guy. They get the guy, but the guy might fool around on them. I have no idea what happened to the lawn. So, anyways, I'm trying to say this without being blunt, because I'm not doing it to be mean. But I had to tell them, honestly, ladies, you don't qualify for the guy you want. And they seemed shocked that I would say that out loud. And I'm not doing it to be hurtful or hateful or mean to them. But you have to ask yourselves as a woman, how many chances do you get? There have been at least 3 to 5 good men in every woman's life. Now, they just don't want the guy that they're qualified for. I'm not being mean. That's not mean, telling them the truth. And here, most of my wife's friends are 50, 45, 50. And occasionally one of the young ones will sneak in there. I tell them, this is exactly what I'm telling them. The guy you were supposed to marry and build a life and a family with, you've already met him. You've probably met him or 3 different guys with the same thing, who would have done anything and everything for you. You cannot use me as an example. I retired at age 46. The only reason I left my wife of over 30 years was when I found out the 2 boys I raised and put through college weren't mine. That's a tough pill to swallow, all right? And I moved from Manassas, Virginia, all the way here to El Paso, Texas, with the purpose of finding a traditional woman. I spent almost $15,000 looking for my wife. I went on over 300 dates. Every date they would go, I would take them out, would bring them flowers, open the doors for them. But the first date was always an interview, and that is exactly what I would tell the woman. Yes, I'm over 6 foot tall. Yes, I make a ton of money. Yes, I have a ton of. My wife doesn't have to worry about anything. The house I'm sitting in, it's the one she picked out. I told her if she would do and be with me and do the things that I want her to do. I didn't want her to work, but that took almost 8 years for her to quit. Anyway, so And I'm not being mean by telling you the truth. I'm not purposely saying, and I don't. This is all I didn't. All I told him. But I wanted to tell him, you wear too much makeup all the time. When a guy you're into wants to do something, I don't want to wait an hour, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 10 minutes max. And that should be enough for you to get ready. That's it. I don't care if you're 5 to 20 pounds overweight, but most women are 50 to 100 pounds overweight. And that's not right. I will not have a woman on my arm who's been with a lot of different guys. I don't want to go through that disrespect. I don't want to be holding your hand and some guy walk up and whisper something in your ear. That's not going to happen with me. And then you have women who have their entire lives have been incentivized to find a man, marry him, then divorce him, and take half of his stuff. On top of that, to tie him down with an 18-year income stream because you had a kid. I have seen, and I have been one of those decent guys. I'm not a good man. I'm just not a good man. Let's just leave it at that. But I am trying to help and give back. You would not believe, I could not, after I got my initial spiel done, I could not get out a full sentence without these single women telling me how wrong I am. And I'm telling you, if I'm so wrong, why aren't you married? Why don't you have the life that you think you should be leading? Why did my wife give up $140,000 just to be my wife? It's why I support the Men Go Their Own Way movement. It's why I support the Red Pill community. I have never, ever, other than holding a sign that says stop and go on it, seen a woman out working on a roof, seen them out working on the roads, never seen one of them out at an oil rig. You don't find them on the front lines unless their city's being overrun in a battle. And here we go, before you say it. Are there exceptions to the rule? Yes, there always is. And a single exception to the rule. You're not it. Whenever I dated with the intent of finding a mate. That's it. And if I wasn't looking for a woman and it was just sex, I didn't consider that dating. There were no flowers. I wasn't taking you out. Anyways, what do they call it now? Netflix and chill? I think that's what they call it. A booty call. We call it a booty call. Anyways, when I say these things in support of the Men Go Their Own Way group and the Red Pill group, I'm just commiserating with them. No one gives less a shit about, people care more about a puppy than they do about a human male. Let that sink in. People will stop traffic for a bird. They'll run a guy over. I didn't see him. And again, I'm not saying this to be mean, but if you chose to put that ring in your septum, you chose to put earrings in your nose, you chose to put a stud in your tongue, you chose to put some shit all over your face that it's not attractive. And you're doing it because you want to look that way. And if I don't like it, and you're the guy, I'm the guy you're looking for, you just lost. And then when they said they had had enough is when I started talking about attitude. Ladies want a series, a laundry list of things checked off by a guy. I check off a lot of things on those lists. Can you imagine? My wife doesn't have to, she didn't have to anyway. You don't have to work. You don't have to worry about dental care. You don't have to worry about health care. You don't have to worry about the car insurance. You don't have to worry about a bill. And at a minimum, I give you an allowance every week. My wife gets about $4,000 a month from me to do with whatever she wants. 99% of the time, she gives me back $3,950. Anyways, it's just sitting in an account. You cannot, you older ladies, ladies, if you're 30, this message is for you, 30 and older. You cannot keep telling men what we want. You don't get to decide what we want. I can't believe I can't believe how many times I've had to have this conversation. And then it's, when you lead off a question, ladies, with I feel, it makes no fucking sense to me. I don't care how you feel about something. I care about if it's right or wrong, if it's true or false. That's it. I like math. I like numbers. I like business. I like making money. I like doing stuff like that. I like fighting. In fact, there's some great fights on tonight. Great. Topuria is going to fight against him. Anyways, I'm definitely watching that. So, if you ask a woman what she wants, she will not be reasonable. She wants everything, all the time, every day. That's not possible. I don't have helicopter money. I don't have private jet money. I'm not a billionaire, but anyways. The worst thing I think that got the largest gasp out of this group of 12 other women was when I told them, you're not what I'm looking for. You were never what I'm looking for. You're 5 foot tall and weigh 180 pounds. You wear too much makeup. Your eyelashes look like there's a bug crawling across your eyes. I can't dance with you. I can't hold your hand because I have to reach down like this. Will I fool around with you? Yeah, of course. Yeah, maybe once. I'm not getting you pregnant. There's no way that's going to happen. I'm not going to let that happen. Anyways. And the other thing I talked to them about, which they seem shocked, is that you realize how much danger a guy puts himself in, physically, morally, and financially, just by going on a date with you. He tried to rape me. He hit me. I felt like I was in danger. Get the fuck out of here. Anyways, all right, so by some of the girls were crying. And again, I'm not telling you this to be mean to you, but I'm willing to be honest with you. Over half, no, that's not true. I'd say 80% of the women have already met at least 3 guys that would have changed their life for the better. But now you're too old. My wife's much younger than all of her friends. Anyways, my wife's way younger than that. It doesn't matter. You're not even trying to be reasonable, ladies. And then if you get bored, God forbid you get bored, or you have some sort of machinations or dream that you should be living the life that you're not living. And ladies, that's your fault. That's not your guy's fault. That's your fault. You act like somebody put a gun to your head and made you hang out with this guy, have a baby with this guy. Just come on, man. Just stop. So, anyways, and the reason I stopped the phone call is it kept interrupting me. I would try to get out a sentence, and they'd be, well, that's not how I feel. That's not true. That's a lie. I'm not just it. All right. I told my wife, I said, hey, I've had enough. And then it's just what it is. Being in a relationship is difficult, and it's not a one-way street, ladies. And guys are absolutely sick of the only benefit being occasional sex. One of the ladies on there knows because I talked to her. I asked her, well, how's your sex life? They had sex 4 times a year. Scheduled sex. Fuck out of here. Anyways, that's not a relationship. Anyways, all right. Love you guys. Stay safe and healthy. I'll do the drip stock review in a little bit, but the guy you were supposed to marry, you already met. He just, in your mind, wasn't good enough for your standards. He wasn't tall enough. He didn't make enough money. You didn't want to build with him. You wanted to go to the store, pick your 6'2" guy off the shelf, open the package, add water, and poof, you have Prince Charming. And you just live happily ever after. That's not how it works. Look at how many women are working now. And they're miserable. They'll have a closet full of purses and shoes and dresses and jewelry, and they're absolutely miserable. You want to see the truth about a lady? Watch, for the most part, any good woman, watch how she changes when she picks up a baby. What's the first thing they do? They smell that baby. And then their eyes glaze over and they start making goo-goo. They just... All right. Love you guys. Stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can. And if you can't, you have to take care of yourself. No one gives a shit about us. Like a fart in a G-string from West Texas, El Paso. I'm out of here. Bye-bye, guys. Love you.